Streetfathers, basically, we're a street engagement team for youth crime based in North, East, South and West. And with the founder, which is Colin James. Colin, would you like to say anything about our movement?
Yeah, really, we just want to let young people know that the fathers are here, we're there for them. We can hear too much that there's not many fathers in the home. Mm-hmm. And it's good for fathers to rise up now and reach out to our young people, but they all are young people. Mm-hmm. So what Streetfathers is trying to do is just raising men to take responsibility for their role towards the community. And our role is to protect and serve our women and children. So we want to, we just want to let young people know that we're there for them.
Yeah, so today we're going to touch on a few subjects. Basically, we're going to talk about youth, smoking, how the effects of drugs affects the community, and what kind of advice we can give to the youth dealing with drugs, taking drugs. This is what the subject matters are going to be today. So one of the first questions I would like to ask Colin is, what do you think about youth around drugs? And obviously there's a lot of drugs we could go into, but what do you think? Your facts and opinions regarding that?
My facts and opinions?
Facts and opinions.
Well, for a fact, not everyone can smoke weed. Mm-hmm. I think that you've got to be in a good mental space to be able to smoke weed in the first place. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think the weed that young people are smoking right now isn't weed from back in the day. It's more like a drug right now.
It's more chemicalized.
And what it's doing for them can't be any good. Mm. So should they be smoking weed? Not the type of weed they're smoking right now. All these flavors and things coming from Cali and that. Yes. I don't trust nothing that come from America anyway, but it's just the fact that that's what most youths are smoking right now. Mm. And when you look at the behavior and some of the actions that they do after smoking weed, that weed there can't be good.
Yeah, and I think some of the effects that they're having, usually, especially with weed, people kind of get a little bit more slow and calm.
Well, you're supposed to chill.
So I don't know what they've got in their thing, but I also think with the age as well, because, I mean, if you're smoking from the age of like 12, 13, 14, it's definitely going to have some effects because your body's not really developed, or your mind is not really developed. It's still in a growth process.
Yeah, from personal experience, I mean, I've been around for a long time. I've watched people smoke weed since I'm a young person. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen serious effects of weed use, but what they're smoking now, like I said, I don't think it's the same weed that was available back in the day.
Do you think it's okay? Because even like back in the day, you had people that just wasn't smoking weed; they're mixing weed with other things, but the weed gets blamed for the problem. But there's other mainstream drugs like crack and heroin and these gases that they're inhaling and these tablets and there's bare little things, amphetamines and taking lines. There's all these other things, even down to prescription pills. So the fact that weed always gets blamed for it.
Yeah, called the gateway drug.
Yeah.
But I think cigarette is the gateway drug. I think cigarette is what leads you to everything. You smoke and drink. You smoke cigarette, then you smoke weed, then you might smoke crack. But I think cigarette is the gateway kind of thing. Myself looking at it.
Okay. So how do you think how do you think we could advise the youth with the use of drugs? Because when I was in school, we had people that came around and they showed we had drug programs, and then they will show you the effects, what heroin does, how it makes you addictive to your body, cocaine, how it makes you addictive, but I don't know if maybe they are, but obviously my time for being in school and it's totally different. So we learn these things in school.
See, they're not smoking weed. They're not even seeing the health benefits of weed. People are smoking weed to get high. So once you're smoking to get high, that's what you get. You get what you look for. Weed is a thinking drug.
Meditation.
So it makes you think. So if your mind's a little bit chipped or you're not in the right frame of mind, smoking weed is probably not the right thing to do, especially if your mind's a bit primed. Okay. But I just think right now there's just a weed that young people are smoking now.
Okay.
And there's a lot of medicinal weed. And there's some good weed out there. But I just don't think it's available for young people, or young people even want to smoke that because it doesn't taste as nice or it's not as popular as the flavours.
Okay. So what about the like, as I said, what about the gas? And you got gas, you got pills. It can't just be weed that's causing.
Yeah, I don't think it's the weed. I don't think it's the weed by itself. But I mean, I don't know what's inside of them balloons. I don't know what the long-term effect of sucking on a balloon would be. But when you look at the actions of the young people, something's not working, something's not right.
Well, something definitely right, because as I said, if they're taking the gas and then you see that it's making people, your friends, cousins, whatever, paralyzed, they can't use one side of your body.
Is that what it does?
Yeah, but there's those effects that it's had. It's just like the vaping. It has more. There's more effects from these things, like bad effects, but they're not highlighting that. But weed, I'm not just trying to defend the weed argument, but what I'm saying is there's less like emergency calls and emergency like situations that is just based on weed.
Yeah, I said when you look, it's not just weed they smoke. There's a lot of alcohol involved in youth culture right now, and maybe the alcohol has got something to do with it too. But if we're going to look at weed from a point of view as a bad drug, you can't leave out alcohol because most problems come because of alcohol.
Okay, alcohol and tobacco.
Yeah, more deaths in alcohol and tobacco than in weed. But I mean, I don't want to be here now being a weed advocate, but if I have to be, I'll be one.
Okay. So what's the best, what do you think is the right age for smoking and to be educated about it?
I don't think there's a right age per se. I just think that you just got to be in the right frame of mind to do anything, and everything's got to be done with some form of balance. Okay. And if you overdo anything, it has a negative effect. Okay. So it's just balance, really. But I don't think that it's down to age. I think it's more down to your state of mind, your frame of mind.
I agree with that.